right, guys, so a lot of my videos now, since my car's apart, is going to be pretty much like little tech tips, little home kind of like DIY stuff that you can do at home to just kind of like as you're assembling your block, or you're checking things out to make sure they're good. Uh, I'm just going to start giving you guys some tips and some things that I do to kind of check things over. Okay, so recently I've been kind of going over the head, checking everything. I cleaned all the valves and polished all the buckets. And this is something that I'm gonna do right now that I wanted to kind of make a video on, because this is something you can do at home and just check things. Again, kind of like the same theme of the last video, to where you wanna go to the machine shop, basically armed with as much info as possible. So this way, you're not surprised, the machinist is not surprised, and you'll have a more, successful build. Okay. So I picked up this dial indicator base holder, magnetic. I think this was like $18. Okay. I just so happen to also have this dial indicator here. And you don't need to have this good, like this is a Fowler dial indicator. Okay. Really good. I don't know how much this costs, probably new, they're a couple $100, but you can get cheap ones. And I do have cheap ones, okay? We're gonna use this one, but I just wanna give you guys like an idea of what you can do to check things, all right? And in this video, we're gonna check the crank, right? So JZ cranks are kind of known for, once you start making 1,300 horsepower, those cranks will bend. They actually will bend, and it'll bend just a little bit. You won't even know it. But you don't want to put a bent crank back into your built motor, and expect it to live. You just don't want to do that. So we're going to check the crank, and I'm going to show you an easy way to do it. Okay. So what you're going to do, I've already basically put all my main bearings in and checked all the bearing clearances, and I've got everything written down. These are the different main bearing clearances I'm checking, with this crank versus what the block, with the main caps tight, what I've measured there. And we're getting close to around 3 thou clearance, that's what I've been running. Okay, I know that's a little on the high side, but with your oil squirters blocked off, and if you use a GTE pump, it makes really good oil pressure. So I had over 100 pounds of oil pressure at idle. And as long as you have that, you can be a little high on your clearances. Okay. It's better for the motor. It's just more oil film that is around the crank. Okay. That being said, this video, we're just checking to see if the crank is bent. So what you do is you take and, you got your dial indicator. We'll get this off of here for now. And you have all your main bearings. So what we're going to do is we're only going to leave the front bearing and the back bearing in. We're going to take all the rest out. So basically the crank is going to be suspended from here to here. It's not going to be touching here at all. And we're going to go through and check each journal, okay? And we're going to rotate it, and we're going to see how much runout we have, okay? You want to take out the middle bearings because you don't want the crank supported up and give you artificial measurements. You want that clearance without the bearings in there, so that if it wants to wobble as you're rotating it, it'll be allowed to do that. Okay, so it'll give you a true measurement, and you'll know exactly if your crank has run out. Okay, so let me take these out. We'll drop the crank in and get this set up, and we'll go from there. All right, so we got all the main bearings out except for the two on the end. I just wanted to give you guys a look at these bearings. This is the main bearings that came out of this motor that have, a lot of runs, close to 1,200 horsepower. And the darkness you see is because I use really high zinc oil, the pen grade oil, and it's got a lot of zinc in it. So it's dark, but as you can see, we'll put it in the light here. I mean, there's no like touchdown at all. I mean, the bearings look really good as far as, wear. Really no wear at all. I mean, that darkness, like I said, is, and these are HX bearings. These are the ACL HX bearings. Just want to give you guys as much info as possible. So make sure everything's clean, you know, wipe this really good. Make sure there's no dust on it. And we're going to put some, we'll put a little assembly lube on it so that we can rotate the crank pretty easy. And I like to be pretty generous. We're just going to, kind of hard to see this one, video in this, but put quite a bit on there so that this thing rotates nice and easy. And let me drop the crank in, and then I'll put the camera on something so that you guys can see the dial indicator moving around. All right, guys, so I got this set up here. We've got it on the middle bearing journal. Basically, that would be whatever, 1, 2, 3, number 4. So number 4 is going to probably show the most of if it's bent, right? So you basically want to get your dial indicator set up. You want to get it right in the middle so that you can clear your counterweights, okay, when it swings around. And you want to make sure once you get it all clamped down to your, you know, your rail there, you want to make sure you have movement in both directions. So if you press on it, you're going to get movement that way, and if you pull on it, it's going to go the other way, okay? So we're on 0 right now. I'm going to put this in this little stand here, and let's rotate the crank slowly, and let's see if this thing moves around and how much. All right, hopefully y'all can see this. We'll start rotating it slowly. Keep in mind that it's going to hit the oil hole, so it's going to drop and then come back up. But this indicator here, it's 0.0005 per line. So it's a half a thou per line. So if you get 4 lines, that would be 2 thou. 2 lines would be 1 thou, and so on. So, all right, we're going to hit the oil hole there. Back up. Going back down. Coming back up. So we've got 2 lines on that side of 0, 2.5 lines, and then it's going to come back over and go 2 lines on the other side of 0. Okay, so that's a total of 4 lines. So that would be 2 thou. So we're getting 2 thousandths of run out here. Okay, not great. I'm gonna have to look up and see what is acceptable, or ask my machinist what's acceptable. So we definitely have some movement here. You know what I mean? Like the crank is definitely wobbling like this. Again, I'm not an expert to know that if that's acceptable or not, but I'll definitely look it up and we'll find out. But the point is, okay, the point is now I know, right? I'm not sure if maybe all 2JZ cranks are a little off. I mean, I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you know, but you can definitely see it. It's moving around a little bit. And like I said, it'll show up the most in the middle. Now, you can also do, which I've already done, and it's actually pretty good. You could put it on the snout of your crank as well. And, right? So we got movement this way. Let's see if you guys can see that. Movement this way. And then do the same thing. You can see the snout of the crank is not bad. A little bit of scarring here on the crank from the balancer. Not too bad though. So the snout of the crank is maybe moving a half a thou. if that. So the front of the crank is pretty good. So anyway, guys, again, this is basically just an informational type video where, you know, you can do some checks at home. Like this whole setup here, you could probably get this set up for 30, 40 bucks. I mean, that's cheap to kind of arm yourself with information. Okay. Again, like I said, I'll ask the machinist. I'll look it up. You know, I'll ask Chat GPT what he thinks of 4 thousandths of runout on your crank. Probably not ideal, but I know that you can get these straightened. But at that point, I don't know like if it'd be worth doing that, because the thing is if, you know, we made 1,200 horsepower on this, but I plan to make more. So if it bent with that much power, what's it going to do when I put 300 or 400 horsepower more to it? It's going to bend again. There's just no, I mean, this block, you know, the dart block may hold the crank better and maybe prevent some of that movement, but a stock crank, I mean, I've done some research on them. You know, they have been pushed to crazy limits, but you know, they do start to come out looking like, you know, a wet noodle, right? So anyway, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you learned something. I'm learning too. And I just kind of want to share these things as we go along. But anyway, the next thing that comes up that I think would be interesting, I'll make a video about it. So anyway, check you all later.